See, I had written here this was a prayer request. Half of my sticky note fell off. My first prayer request was to get to 38 weeks, which looked unachievable, but here we are. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, my name is Maggie. Feel free to subscribe and to join the family. So today I'm going to share a story that I hope will help someone, and I hope will inspire someone to see God's miracles, as in God's work in my life. Yeah, so if you follow me on my Instagram account, I had mentioned that I had surgery while pregnant. I'm still pregnant, and I decided to share this story because one, I had made a promise to God that if I get this far, I'll definitely share, and two, there are not so many stories like this, yet there are women who go through it, or you might find yourself going through it and you might need some hope. Because I remember I really checked online to see who has gone through such a thing, and I only got like one video or with one person who had the same testimony. So I'm really hoping that this video will inspire someone, will help someone, and will just strengthen someone's faith to see that God really does wonders. So I was about 26 weeks sometime in July. I think around 24th or 26th July. I was shooting with my sister on that day, and I remember I kept getting like really sharp pains on my tummy, and I really thought they were Braxton Hicks. So it was on and off, and then that's it. So that was a Thursday. On Friday I decided to, I had like a weird gut feeling that something isn't right. So I decided to go to the supermarket Carrefour to buy some shopping for the house, and while there the pains came back again. So they were just sharp around my umbilical cord going down to my abdomen, and then after that they disappear. So when driving back home again they came, and I was like, maybe I just need to rest and hydrate, like they say with Braxton Hicks. So I came home and rested. Unfortunately, my husband had gotten into an accident that night, so I didn't rest for so long before now I had to go help him out and take him to hospital. Like the whole night I spent the night in hospital, but catering to him. He was not so hurt, but just the checkup. I'm telling you, when it rains, sometimes it just pours. So that was my night that Friday leading to Saturday. And on Saturday, now in the morning, actually when we were in hospital, I was with my friend Petrine and Humphrey, two friends of mine, who helped me take Dan to hospital and then follow up with a checkup. And the pains came back, the pains that I had, but now they were so bad I was just bending, and I decided, let me go sleep in the car. So I slept in the car as they processed whatever they needed to process, and then I told Humphrey, like at around now 4, you see, you can't just live with curfew hours, unfortunately. So at around 4 I told Humphrey, please take me home. Petrine will bring Dan home. After they're done, I think maybe I'm just tired. So when we go home, I think I got to the house like 30 minutes, then Dan and Petrine came, and I decided, because I'm tired, I've had an eventful night, let me just take like an antihistamine to just knock me out and sleep a little bit, and a painkiller. So I take Panadol and then I sleep. So Dan came back and we slept. This is Saturday now. During the day I wake up at around 11, and I have sharp pains on and off. Now I can't even walk properly. I'm just holding on to myself, holding on to things. It's right under my umbilical cord, but also going like spreading along the abdomen towards the right. So I decided, let me go for a scan and see whether everything is okay. So I leave the house. We leave the house with Dan because he had just been in an accident. He was not so confident to drive. So we drive, we go, yeah, Petrine, my friend again, she's my really close friend. She's just like my sister basically. So she decides to take us to the scan. So we pass by her, we go with her to the scan, and by the time we're reaching town, the scan was somewhere in town, trust me, I could not walk. I was on my fours, like literally the pain was excruciating. So I remember the lady doing the scan somewhere in town at Jubilee Exchange building, and I was in pain, and I told her, please hurry up, because I can't now sit up for so long how they do the scan. So she checks the scans, the baby is fine, and I'm like, then what's up? She notes the fibroid that I had, but she's like, the pain you have does not look fibroid related. So after that scan, I remember even sitting with watchmen around there waiting for the car to come, and it was still very, I could not sit up like for the life of me. And as we had gone to the scan, I had called my doctor and said how I'm feeling. So he said, because it was a Saturday now heading towards evening, he said do the scan and then do a UTI test. So I go to Lancet because I didn't want to spend another day in hospitals queuing and everything. I go to Lancet and now we do the urine test, and it comes out that I have a UTI confirmed. So I was given oral antibiotics and a painkiller. So I go home, we eat. Now this is 7. We eat, and and then I decide to sleep. I told Dan, please massage my back, because now the pain is radiating from my abdomen towards the back. And I'm telling you, when he just touched my back, I screamed. It was painful. It was excruciatingly painful. So we call the doctor and we tell him, the pains are getting just worse. And he's like, why does it sound like you are in premature labor? Because it was coming back sharp pain comes, then goes. So he's like, let's just rush to the ER, and we meet him there. When we met him there, I was rushed to the labor ward, because now you're pregnant, they just assume this is a maternity issue. And he decided, he checks the cervix whether it's dilated, and he told us if it's dilated, like it's opening, there's nothing under the sun he can do, but the baby is too small. But we hopefully, like looking at NICU options. So when he checks, we just there, we praying. Good Lord, it had not like opened up, and so he's like, at least the cervix has not dilated. Let's find out now why you're in pain. I was given some drugs, I don't remember, I think pain management, and now the UTI, because now it was confirmed I had UTI, they gave me antibiotics. The next day I was actually able to walk. I took a video, as in I was able to walk holding onto things here, but I was able to walk upright. And now this is the second day now after admission, I could not walk again. Now they've finished the antibiotics, and the pain is back, and now it's excruciatingly painful. So the doctor is like, let's just do another scan and a CRP test. We do another scan, and I cried throughout because it was pain. And now the pain is not only from the right side of the abdomen, it comes up to the stomach on the right side. I remember that scan, I really cried. I told them to hurry up, and again, thankfully they confirmed the baby is fine, but they were like, you have more fibroids than I knew, but they're like, also it doesn't look fibroid related, so maybe it's just another issue, but it's not the baby, which was good and bad news, because I'm like, then what the hell is wrong with my body? So the CRP test comes, and a normal person's G has 0 to 5 CRP. My CRP was 59. My CRP was 59. So a general surgeon is urgently called in. They hold my abdomen, like they ask me where the pain is, I point, and when he was doing the physical examination, when he touched the right abdomen, I literally was screaming, and he's like, it's your appendix. Your appendix is swollen and we have to rush you for surgery. So we start the preparations, and I'm like, how sure are you it's my appendix? You've just touched and everything. Is like your symptoms all present, you know, geared towards that. So I called my parents. You know, with the COVID now, they can't visit you, so the only person who was visiting me was my husband, and thankfully Petrine works in Aga Khan, so I was able to also see her. So earlier than I thought, I'm rushed into surgery. I didn't know they'll take me that fast. And I remember when we just about to enter the surgery room, operating room, I had not seen Dan and Petrine. They had gone to look for food, so they didn't even know I'm going to surgery. And when they now rushed and came outside there dressed in the clothing for that place, we all just broke down. Like, it was a moment of these are days that we've been carrying stress from an accident, and now to this. It was extremely, it was a heavy emotional burden, and not being able to see my parents, it was just a lot. So we prayed and I went into surgery, and it went well, successfully. Laparoscopic. It was a laparoscopic. It was done laparoscopically. That means they enter with machines and everything, and then there was one incision, main incision at the middle. Yeah, so after surgery, I'm wheeled back. I don't know, it took an hour or something, and thankfully everything went okay. So I'm on I'm on IV drugs to manage the pain, and I have bandages on my tummy. So they remove the what are they called, bandage, wound, the thing for wound, I have forgotten. They removed the, I think, let's call them bandage, from the sides on Wednesday, and from the middle, because I was getting discharged, because now there's improvement. I was walking, but throughout I had been on IV. When they remove, what happened that day, I was quite moody because I was frustrated. I was tired of being in hospital. I really wanted to just go home. So when I was asked, how are you doing, I was like, I'm fine, I want to go home. But in reality, I was not quite well, because I had taken a long time without going for a poop. You know, when you go for that surgery, they pump in a lot of gas, so you need a lot of laxatives, as in your system just doesn't go back into normal that fast. It's like a CS, by the way, but as in the way they pump in gas, so your stomach is bloated, and now here you're still pregnant. So I had not gone to the loo, and I'm eating. So by the time we're leaving, I had been given one medicine to help me, inserted through the back. Not quite a pleasant experience, just to relieve the gas and relieve poop. It worked, but by the time we were going home, the effect of the surgery was like I was not walking. I couldn't walk well, and I had not seen my wounds. So when I was at home and I'm struggling to move around, and I'm trying to change like into something comfortable, I saw my stomach and I panicked. I'm like, what the hell did they do to my body? You know, I had not been showering, just wiping. I was shocked, I was traumatized, I was in pain, and then you remember I'm still very bloated, and then suddenly my appetite disappeared. I just wanted to vomit. It was a really tough day, mentally and physically. And this is the first time I was being put on drugs, oral drugs. I'd been on IV throughout. So once I get home now and all this happens, and I call the doctor, I'm like, I'm in a lot of pain. He's like, take a painkiller and let's just time it. I take a painkiller, and then suddenly I'm very nauseous, and vomiting is not a good sign. So I take a painkiller, but 1 hour later, nothing. It's just throbbing pain. It's like a kidonda, and you know, the baby is now moving and kicking. It was painful, and an hour later, now this is into the night, I decide, no, let's go back to hospital. And by the time we get to hospital, I vomit a lot. And I'm so glad I trusted my instinct. Trust your instincts. And they check me up. The baby is fine. the thing was, it's like almost I was not ready for a discharge because I had been on IV medication, so you don't know how you're gonna respond on the oral medication. So once again I'm admitted, and now I'm just emotional, I'm just crying. I'm like, why am I back here? You know, you're admitted in the maternity ward where people have already given birth, and sometimes nurses would confuse and come to my room and like, oh mommy, where's baby? And I'd get so mad and say, in my stomach. Yeah, so it was really frustrating emotionally. Mentally, it was just a lot. So now back in the hospital, they decided, let's give her oral medication to see how she responds, should a discharge be given. So at least from there I could handle. My main issue was that I still could not go to the loo. I could not go to the loo for the love, like there's no urge at all. For 2 days they gave me again medication from the back to try and make me go to the loo. They work and then they stop, and then you're told eat, because you know in pregnancy you're hungry. Again they work, they stop. The third day they're like, we can't give you more, now we just have to switch to laxatives, the ones you drink. I think it's called fibogel, and you have to just walk around and hydrate and pray. I'm telling you, it was tasking. I used to walk around the hospital listening to Kirk Franklin, and I remember the pharmacist telling me, you need to really speak faith that you will carry this pregnancy to term. Every day tell yourself, I'll carry my baby to term. And that uplifted me, because I was really down spiritually, but that in a way kick-started now my spiritual journey again. I was praying, I was just telling God, please, I need to poop. I really need to poop. I really need my life back, and I need this baby to be carried to term. So every day they would monitor the heartbeat and monitor everything is fine. I've just not gone to the loo. And finally on the 1st of August, remember this journey started 26th or something, I was able to go to the loo. It is the first day of August. First day of August 2020. I'm getting discharged. I've been in hospital for a week, and today I celebrate that I pooped. Yeah, and I'm getting discharged, and I'm happy. Man, I'm getting discharged. First day of August. Hi guys. And I was so happy, and my wounds were healing, because at least now I was responding to the oral medication. I would be given Panadol, and at least the pain would subside. Yeah, so I remember the 1st of August, I was so happy. I was so happy to have gone to the loo without any medical intervention, and I was happy that I was finally discharged. Yeah, so this is just a survival story of how I survived an appendectomy at 26 weeks. That's what it's called. It was an emergency, and it's a miracle to me that now as I film this video I'm 38 weeks, and I know I promised God by there I'll tell of your wonders, I'll tell of your works if I'm able to carry this baby to full term. It looked unachievable because of the pain that I was in and the getting admitted and whatever, but I'm just here to tell you that God really works in mysterious ways. One, when I was admitted, I had no insurance. Like, my insurance wasn't covering maternity because I got pregnant before the expiry period. And then luckily, this is just, God has a funny humor, my issue was found not to be maternity related. That's the appendix, just a physical issue. So the insurance stepped in and helped us. And remember, this has been a year of COVID, so both Dan and I were affected, like financially, but God really came through. Two, this process really strengthened my relationship with Dan in a way that we became closer, we became more spiritual. Being a week apart, you deal with your own issues, I deal with mine. Like, we became even closer together after being apart, and it really strengthened our faith in God separately and then together as a couple, because he's the only one allowed to visit. Yeah, and God was able to send people my way that were able to see me through, especially Petrine, who was coming to see me now that people are not allowed in hospitals. She could come to see me because she was working there, and even in my depression there, she was able to minister to me, like to be with me, listen to me, and help me out. So let me tell you guys, never underestimate God. In whatever you do, just trust God. And whatever you do, even generally about your physical well-being, and especially if you're pregnant, I'd say trust your instinct. If you feel something is wrong, something is definitely wrong. So I'm just gonna show you a few pics of before and after my healing. My wounds were really fresh, the first picture, and then as you see, it has progressed, and finally my wound is closed, and I am just embracing and loving this scar because it reminds me of a season that God came through when I had little to zero faith, especially because I really wanted this baby after a miscarriage. And then going through this, I was down. I was just feeling it's happening again, I'm losing this baby. But God has carried me through and carried my family through, and I hope this story inspires someone and helps someone who's going through the same. So yeah, see you on my next video. Hopefully I'll film one more. I'm just a little bit tired, but thank you for watching until this far. Bye bye.